Hello and welcome to yet another video on the Twofold channel. This time around, I'm hanging out with a brand new Volkswagen Touareg, and this one right here is powered by a 3-litre V6 diesel engine. And as all things go in all our reviews, I'm going to be telling you all about this car from a styling perspective. Then we dive deep into the engine and performance. Then I'll tell you all about my road trip with this baby right here and just close it off with my final remarks. So stay tuned. I think first things first, let's talk about the looks on this new Touareg. What I love about this car is that, well, comparing it with the outgoing model, is that it has a lot more creases on it. It looks really mean, this car, and look, from a technology standpoint, a lot more has been improved. Obviously, Volkswagen has kept a lot of their best selling and best features in the vehicle, but have enhanced them to make them a little bit better. But then starting up front, looking at those headlamps, you get that signature triple L, daytime running lights, as well as a new light bar up in front that extends all the way up until the VW symbol up front. The grille is much more meaner. This one here in this vehicle is all blacked out, just to match with the styling of the vehicle. The one that we have, the specific one, is the R line over here. And then just moving on to the side as well, you get a lot more creases, a lot more lines on the vehicle, just to give it that sharp edge a little bit and to beef it up. And in the rear, the same thing. You get those signature daytime running lights, or LED lights rather. And then there's a light bar as well in the rear, as well as a VW's symbol that just lights up at night or whenever the lights are on. And then let's have a look inside and I'll tell you more about that tech I was talking about. And then when you move inside, you'll see that there's a brand new infotainment screen right in the center, which is 15 inches wide, very big, very intuitive as well. It's slightly slanted towards the driver, but the passenger as well can control it with ease. Like I said, once it takes your fingers moving closer to the screen, you'll see some of the options and the tiles just changing, and once you move your finger away, they resort back to default settings. That's quite smart of them. And then right in front of the driver as well, there's a super bright LCD display as well for all your instrumentals, from speed, and you can also actually customize it to show you the maps, to show you some night vision stuff as well if you really want. And then moving on to the seats, they're very comfortable. You can see that R symbol on the seats as well. The same effect is carried out onto the rear. Very comfortable, spacious, and then you can move the seats around at the rear as well to just extend it a little bit if you have taller passengers such as myself. But even without moving the seat back, the space in the back is still pretty decent, if I might add. And then in the boot right here, as you can see, it's quite big, quite large. We took this on a road trip, a whole 7 days road trip to the coast, to the Western Cape and a little bit of the Eastern Cape, and all our bags fit in here for the entire duration, as well as the camera equipment that you see us recording all of this wonderful stuff with. And I think most importantly, what I wanted to talk about was just living with this car, taking it on a trip, as opposed to just giving you a standard review that you come to expect on the Twofold channel. But driving this car on a long road trip, more than about 4,000 kilometers, it really does well. And given that it's a 3-litre V6 diesel engine, I expected the worst in terms of fuel consumption, but we filled up about 3 times with this baby, and look, it fared well. From full tank alone, we got about 1.1 thousand kilometers, and that was pretty much decent to take us to where we needed to go during the trip without worrying about filling up. We left Johannesburg very early in the mornings, made our way down to the Eastern Cape, just towards Knysna. And then once we got to Uniondale, we took a beautiful off-ramp through the Prince Albert Pass, which is a beautiful pass, just gravel, but it's so scenic and you just want to do it over and over again. And there we really tested the Touareg off-road capabilities, very smooth, and that's where the air suspension gets to shine as well. It came through beautifully, just gobbling up all the dirt that you were throwing at it. Again, like I said, very smooth. I really did not expect that from the Touareg. Actually did not have any expectations, which is because the last time I drove a Touareg was about 4 or 5 years ago, and I didn't take it off-road then. It was primarily on-road, but now, yeah, it really did surprise me. That stretch lasted us about a good 2 hours. And then we made it all the way to Knysna with still a few kilometers to spare on the tank. And then after that, we made our way towards Cape Town, to the city. Started off in Bishop's Court. There again, we traveled beautifully. There were a lot of stop and goes, but still the fuel consumption maintained its level, those highway or rather, freeway numbers. And then we drove around the city a little bit. Of course, as you would know, parking in Cape Town is a mess, but we managed, to make it through with this car. It's very nimble, it's easy on the steering, especially looking at basement parking, underground parking as well. It can do that with breeze. And then we made our way to the outskirts of Cape Town towards Franschhoek, Stellenbosch and them. And there again, there was a little bit of off-roading where the car did beautifully, and traveling through and in between wine estates. It also came through. The fuel economy was pretty decent still, and the car is just beautiful to drive, man. I know it sounds like an ad, but I'm being for real. It was quite a, memorable experience and a good one to have this vehicle. We took it to all our favorite, restaurants, all our favorite spots, all around the West Coast. And this car, I can safely say that, look, if I had 1.7 million rand, I would definitely buy it right now, without a doubt. In the same spec, same color, same wheels, everything. At first, I did not like the wheels, but I've come to fall in love with them. Same with the color. I thought, I'd be bored after a few days or weeks. But yeah, it still looks good, especially after, a clean wash. That's when it really comes to shine as well. And here we are back in Johannesburg after a wonderful trip through from Knysna through Tsitsikamma, where we took it to the forest as well. As you know, Tsitsikamma is very beautiful, and there as well we took a lot of content and pictures that you can see in this video as well. And then we took it to Cape Town and then back again to Johannesburg. All within reason in terms of fueling up the vehicle. Nothing too bad at all. Like I said, we had to fill it up about 3 times, 3 tanks for the entire duration of the trip, of which I think is quite decent for this vehicle, especially when you're driving it all around town and all around your favorite places. So all in all, how would I rate my time with the new Touareg? I think I would give it a solid 8.5 out of 10. And that's based on looks alone. The spec of this vehicle is amazing, colors, all of that. Technology in the vehicle is pretty decent, up to date. I do have a nuance though, it does tend to glitch now and then, but overall it does what it needs to do. Off-road capabilities based on that, and just the air suspension, which is brilliant and smooth, and the pricing just coming in at 1.7 million rand for this R-line spec. It's a beautiful spec, and therefore I would recommend this car over and over again. But thank you so much for tuning into this review on the new Touareg. I hope you enjoyed it, but please do share this video with your friends and family. Make sure you do comment, let me know what you think of it, and then please make sure that you subscribe to this channel to be up to date with the latest from Twofold. Thank you so much. Until next time, have a good one.